Restaurants, of course, such a big part of the city. You can get any type of food pretty much anytime you want it. They are also a big part of the fabric of the 5 boroughs and the city's history.
For sure. Restaurants, the focus of New York Magazine's latest cover story, Who Ate Where, and it celebrates the history of the city told entirely through its restaurants. From Delmonico's to the breakfast nooks that were popular with the club crowd, the magazine's editors telling us that this issue is a celebration of the people who define the most vibrant dining scene in America.
Yeah, joining us now is New York Magazine's food editor, Alan Sitzma. Great to have you with us this morning.
Thank you so much. Happy to be here.
We love New York Magazine, and this is part of the Yesteryear series that you guys do periodically throughout the year. Before we get to some of these specific examples of these restaurants and the history that they tell, just give us an idea of just putting this issue together, and what was that like going through basically the city's history through restaurants?
Exactly. It is so fun. We do this issue every year. Last year it was all about It Girls, for example. We're celebrating the magazine's anniversary, but we're also celebrating the city's anniversary. And we knew that we wanted to do something about old restaurants. We were batting around ideas, and then we saw a picture that will come up that just sort of unlocked the whole project for us, that we knew it wasn't going to be about food, it wasn't going to be about chefs, it was going to be about the people and the customers and the scenes inside the restaurant, and then it just all snowballed from there.
And there are so many scenes to talk about, so let's get into some of those specifics. We will start with Cafe La Fortuna on the Upper West Side. This became a hangout for Yoko Ono, John Lennon. Let's talk about that. They ate breakfast there the day John Lennon actually was murdered. Yoko Ono ate there. Talk to us about the history here.
We wanted to make sure that as part of this package, we were seeing notable, famous New Yorkers in their regular environment. And so in this case, there's a story about John and Yoko. They're leaving their son, Sean Lennon, with the owner as they run out to do errands because they're so comfortable there. Customers know to leave them alone, so that's why they really like being there. The owner and John and Yoko actually became friends over the years, even though the owner was a big opera fan and thought that rock music was, I think, the devil's music.
Oh man, that's interesting. You can't talk about restaurants in the city's history without talking about Delmonico's, obviously very iconic. Mark Twain celebrated his 70th birthday there in 1905, and according to the headlines, it was a rager. I'm picturing Mark Twain raging at a birthday party.
It was the party of 1905. Obviously, the rager is a little joke because if you see the photo, he's very stiff as you would be in 1905. But this was really the photo that unlocked the whole package for us because we knew that we wanted to cover Delmonico's, but it's been written about so much, it's been talked about so much. So how do you do something surprising? Our photo team, Jody Kwan, our amazing photo director, she found this image. We all were captivated by it. We wanted to know more about the party, more about the night. And that's when we started to say, let's look at nights and parties everywhere, all over the city.
Let's talk about where downtown Brooklyn went for fries after school. We are talking about Albee Square Mall in 1982.
That's right. This is where City Point is now. So you get a little glimpse of like the history of it. This is a father and a son who are eating a burger after school. They got fries. And we just loved this image because it was such a perfect encapsulation of just everyday New York life. You're not out in high society. You're just living the day.
Yeah, that's a cute photo, by the way. Let's talk about Sugar Ray's up in Harlem, owned by the boxer Sugar Ray Robinson. And you would know when he was there, if we see the photo, because usually he'd park his pink Cadillac right outside the restaurant.
That's right. It was not subtle. His pink Cadillac was right outside. He owned the restaurant. We have a great story in the piece about Ray Nagel worked at a hotel down the street, and so people would come into town and they'd want to see Sugar Ray, who was at that time the most famous person in the country.
Yeah.
And so he would help them and sort of guide them over to the restaurant to see if he was there. He said, "You're not going to see Sugar Ray, but I'll take you to the restaurant anyway." Sugar Ray also owned the whole block. He had businesses all over the block, and in addition to the restaurant where his Cadillac sat right outside.
Indochine also featured, opened in 1984 on Lafayette Street, serving Vietnamese food. Right out the gate, this was really a celebrity hotspot, a place to be seen and see others.
Absolutely. Brian McNally opened it. He's Keith McNally's brother. It was the place that models, celebrities, musicians, everybody went immediately. It's still open. We actually have an image in the magazine of all of the chopsticks that notable figures have used. Right, it's when you look closer, it's all signed. They have the date that they were used.
Interesting.
And so you can really see who was there, and it really was like a who's who, anyone that's anyone.
We're talking in the 80s, like your Madonna and all those that during the height.
Naomi Campbell, David Bowie. I mean, you name it.
Interesting. Very good. Real quickly, so when people read this type of stuff, what do you want them to get out of all this?
We want them to just get that sort of feeling of like loving the idea of having your place in the city and having the restaurant that you can go to where you feel comfortable and where the restaurant is just so happy to see you every time you show up.
It makes a big city feel a little bit smaller. Alan, thank you so much for joining us. This issue of New York Magazine, by the way, it's on newsstands now. It is online as well.
Yeah, you can go and get it online at nymag.com right there. Alan, thank you.
Thank you so much.
Thanks for watching our YouTube channel. For more stories in your communities, click the subscribe button right here. You can also download our app or watch us on TV for the latest news and weather updates every 10 minutes and more. We'll see you then.